Hi, my name is Koray and this is KubeFM.
So first things first, who are you, what's your role, and where do you work?
Hey, Bart. My name is Koray. I work for Kubernetes as a consultant, Kubernetes consultant. So maybe you know, but yeah, we have the Kubernetes management application. My role is mainly to deploy to customers and help their management of their environment. I also do trainings both for our applications and also for Kubernetes, Helm, etc. All the cloud native stuff. Yeah, that's main need.
Very good. So you're plenty busy with everything.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So where does code quality break down first when changes span application code, Kubernetes configs, and CI pipelines in the same pull request?
Well, yeah. So when they are in the same pull request, it means that probably they are generated by the same person. And if it is application, then it's the developer. And most of the time, I see that developers are not so much confident about the Kubernetes or infra-related stuff in general, I would say. Of course, they know, but they prefer that to be done by more experienced or like ops type of people. So when they're combined, let's say production like configuration would have issues in those kind of PRs.
Why do YAML and Helm changes consistently escape the same scrutiny as application code? And what does that cost teams in production?
I mean, Kubernetes manifests can be very long, and also if you have a Helm chart, like a big Helm chart with a lot of templating, sometimes it's really hard to follow what's happening based on the values you provide. So it is also quite hard to actually review them, understand the effect of it. Just adding one value in the values YAML changes a lot of things, right? In your the manifest that will be applied to production. So I think there should be some sort of pre-prod staging, whatever environment, but production-like environment where you test those kind of configuration. Otherwise, things would just slip through production, and there will be some issues as well. So having a production-like environment is, I think, a key point here, and test, of course, on this environment.
As AI writes more of the code going into Kubernetes deployments, what does good governance of that code actually look like?
I mean, if you look at from the DevOps perspective, the governance should be on the CI/CD pipelines, right? I mean, at the very beginning of the stage, so that like fast feedback, things would be covered earlier. But in the end, well, worst case scenario, there should be some sort of policy tool running on your clusters, like Kyverno or OPA or whatever you use, to check the things that are actually good for production or good for your environment. AI helps a lot, for sure, but yeah, you have to check those kind of whatever it provides. You have to at least test it in advance. If not, make sure that there are some policies on your production environment that those changes are compliant with what you want to have on production.
Where are engineering teams getting AI code review right today, and where are they still flying blind?
I think things have changed in the last, 6 months a lot. I mean, it used to be just ask to the AI and it would provide you some information, or like, hey, look at this, at that stuff. But nowadays, AI is able to write an application from scratch in a couple of days, like a really huge applications or setups. So I think, well, using AI as a reviewer or getting some advices from it is still good and better than it used to be, obviously. But if you're making AI to write the whole code, then reviewing is really hard. I mean, you simply can't. I mean, it's able to write 5,000 lines of code per day, so you can't review that code. It's not scalable for us to do it. But I think the safe point right now is still use it as a reviewer or ask like small changes, so that I think there are still hallucinations. We know that, and it happens, but I think it's getting less and less.
What would it take for you to trust an AI recommendation on a production-bound infrastructure change? And what's the bar for that?
I well, yeah, I mean, I think it's not so ready for infrastructure yet. When I say I'm especially thinking about, for example, databases on cloud environments, like managed databases, etc. We've heard stories that it just removed the database, creates a new one, etc. That sort of stories are on LinkedIn nowadays. So I think, especially for application, it's AI is capable of writing from scratch a quite quality code. But for infrastructure, I think it's good to have it as it's still good to have it as a reviewer or like get some recommendations, etc. But it will also change. I mean, obviously, maybe 6 months later, when if someone is listening to this one, then they will say, "Yeah, what are you talking about?" I mean, we've been asking AI for everything. Probably we'll go there, but today, as of today, I think it's good as a teammate, reviewer, or peer developer, peer buddy. But yeah, the day to trust it, I think, will come. I personally don't trust it at the moment for the whole infrastructure changes.
This is the first, I've been doing podcast interviews for quite a while. It's the first time when someone says, like, when someone's listening to this in 6 months from now, I feel like we're in a time capsule. When someone's at the British Museum, they stumble across the archive. When Indiana Jones is trying to figure out where the Ark of the Covenant is. All right. Fantastic. Yeah, but okay, but you did mention, future forward, future looking, thinking about, things that we can expect in the next 6 months. But, Kubernetes is over a decade old now at this point and still accelerating. Yeah. What does the next era look like for teams that are trying to maintain code quality at that scale?
Well, to be honest, I'm not very good at predicting the future. Also, I mean, it's getting really hard because things are changing quite fast, and the whole AI stuff is incredible. I don't know. I don't know but things will be different from what we are doing today, and there's already a huge change. And I think what we are or how we operate today will be a bit different. Kubernetes, I think, will be here to stay, or at least a tool like Kubernetes, which does the whole management of containers, management of applications, will be here. Something like this, at least. Maybe a simpler one, because now people are starting to complain that it's too complex, it's too much, blah, blah, blah. I also see those kind of feedback recently. I guess, I mean, it will be different. I just know that, but I can't predict how easy or how different it will be in the future. But I think how we do things today, even different than what we were doing 10 years ago, right, with Kubernetes. So I think AI will change this thing as well.
I think it's fair to say it. Well, what you said, that no matter what happens, it'll be different than what we're doing right now. That seems to be abundantly.
I don't know how different. I don't know on which direction, to be honest. But it will be different. I'm pretty sure about that.
Very safe bet. Now, more practically speaking, what are you focused on in building or solving next?
Scalability is an issue always. Like even you're working with Kubernetes, even if you are on cloud, having scalable systems under load is sometimes still challenging based on what you are managing. So one of the projects is something like that I'm working on. It's the application is running on Kubernetes, but scaling it fast. It's not just the scaling, but the scaling it fast is with the infra is a bit challenging. I think also on the cloud side, like the hyperscaler side, there might be some improvement, or there should be some improvements as well to have more stable, more scalable environments. For example, nowadays we have an issue that we can't. I mean, in some regions we can't find VMs with GPUs, right? This is an issue, and just adding more hardware with more GPUs is not the real solution. There could be some. I mean, there are some other ways to share them, etc. So I think, unfortunately, the resources are not unlimited. They are limited, and we should find a way to use them more efficiently.
And for people that want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
They can reach out to me on LinkedIn or via email, my work email or personal email. Yeah, most of the time, or Twitter, X, Blue Sky, or on social platforms, I try to answer all the questions yeah, they can just reach out to me, or at KubeCon. I'll be there next week. I don't know when this will be there, but yeah, I'll be in Amsterdam, so they can also find me there as well.